Go ahead and we'll call the regular council meeting to order at 6:32 p.m. May I have a roll call?
Bertone.
Here.
Heights.
Here.
Harrison.
Here.
Saracey.
Here.
Horton. Backnick. No. All right, Mayor, have
Motion to excuse
missing two names you
Becknick
can.
and Horton. This is Harrison.
I will second. This is Bertone.
We'll need to make a motion for Christina as well. She she texted this morning that she wasn't going to be able to make the meeting. So then we're
Yeah.
too short. We're not going to be able to pass legislation tonight, correct?
I made the
That's
motion
correct.
for both, Tim.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and make that motion then.
I made the motion for both Vern and Christina.
And Bertone seconded.
Harrison.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Saracey.
Aye.
Saracey.
Aye.
I'm unsure if I broke up or if I didn't hear Mr. Saracey respond.
Aye. Frank.
Thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion to pass or to approve the regular council meeting held on September 15th?
So moved. This is Doug.
Frank second.
Harrison.
Aye.
Saracey.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move the agenda out of order this evening and read the resolutions. These are all be on first read because we don't have enough council present to pass these. I have to skip out of the meeting here and go handle some things at the plant. So we'll go back to the normal agenda, and Doug will take over the meeting as the pro tem. Now, Chris and Amy, are we going to need to schedule a special with any of these ordinances, or can they wait?
I would say the amended appropriations should be a special, and therefore we could take care of the other ones. And I'm not sure about the transportation logistics one that we put in at the last minute there, the TLCI.
Okay, all right, so then what I'll ask Amy to do then is, Amy, tomorrow, let's get with council and find out what we can do for a special and get it published so we can get those ordinances passed, okay?
Okay.
All
Hopefully,
right.
Tim,
Yes, sir.
hopefully we can do it next Tuesday at this time.
That would be fine by me, and I would imagine everybody else would be good with that date too, but we'll just have to figure that out tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
So then I need a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Darcy second.
Chris, that was Bertone that started it.
Thank you.
Who's that?
Bertone.
Aye.
Saracey.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Harrison.
Aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 2020-61, an ordinance authorizing the administrator of the Village of Fairport Harbor to sell the senior citizen van to the highest bidder and declaring an emergency. That is on first read. Ordinance number 2020-62, an ordinance to amend appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Fairport Harbor, Lake County, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2020 and ending December 31, 2020 and declaring an emergency. Resolution number 2020-63, a resolution requesting the Lake County Auditor to make advance payments of taxes pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code 321.34 and declaring an emergency. That is on first read. And finally, this evening, resolution number 2020-64, a resolution authorizing and directing the mayor and village administrator to apply for a transportation for livable communities inactive TLCI planning grant to study and develop access and transportation options related to the village of Fairport Harbor and Fairport Harbor waterfront and declaring an emergency. That is on first read. So let me ask a question. Being that we put those on first read at this point, if Vern should happen to call in or Christina call in after the meeting started, could we take action on those?
Yes.
Okay, I will send a text as I head out. I thank you all for your time. I'm sorry I have to cut this one short. Doug, the meeting is all yours, sir.
Okay, Ken, thank you.
Thank you.
We can go back to the agenda. David, do you want to give your presentation with this abbreviated group, or do you want to wait till next month when everyone might be here?
I gave you everybody an email memo on everything that was done that we presented to the council last month. It went to the planning commission for review and comment. The planning commission has voted to recommend all the changes. In order to move on this, we will have to set a public hearing, and it doesn't sound like you have enough votes to set anything or do any action at this time. So if you want me to come back, if you're having a special meeting next week, be happy to come back next week and we can talk about all these issues, all the changes to the code, and figure out a timeline for a public hearing.
I think it would be better if we could have everyone here, and then that would give everyone a chance to read it, and because there's a lot in that. So thank you, David.
Doug, before we move on,
Yes.
and so as we were talking a little bit earlier, Dave, can we have a schematic map showing some of these new districts so that once we go to the general public, it's easy for us to understand what that chart's all about, but not everybody will once we put that out there. So is it possible you could create a map with these areas on it, the changes?
We're doing text amendments, and I'm just want to show where these uses will be per the zoning map.
Yep. Approximately.
Yeah.
I mean, it have to be.
Yeah, I can create a map showing the areas that are zone C2, C1, C3, and M. Now we have not decided on an area for the division between M1 light industrial and heavy industrial.
Right.
I can create a map where we have a proposed area for heavy industrial.
Exactly. That'll be the big question that comes up. So if you could do that, that would be very useful, I would think.
Okay, I could do that.
Great.
And
Thanks, Dave. Great work.
I'll ask you, Dave, can you get that to us in print? Because I'm on by phone and I'd like to have a chance to look. I think all of us would like to look at it first beforehand.
I
So
will
if you can get
create
that to
the
us.
map tomorrow and have Amy send it out first thing on tomorrow or first thing Thursday morning, no later than Friday. If you're going to have a special meeting on Tuesday, you'll have the weekend to look it over.
Good. That's appropriate.
Thanks, Dave. I know that was a lot of work that you put into that, and that's going to help us going forward. So I really appreciate that you put all that effort into that.
Everyone, I believe Vern has just joined the session. Vern, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. There he is.
We can go back and revisit the the ordinances now that we have 5, I believe. Is that correct, Mr. Lyons?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's go through the rest of. Are there any other questions or comments on the zoning issue with the zoning district?
My only comment is going to be that we did not address an area for light industrial compared to to heavy industrial with the planning commission. We only discussed the text amendments. I'm not sure, so there's no report on a recommendation of where heavy industrial and light industrial will go. That may need to be sent back to the planning commission for comment.
Well, I think we should do that before we have a public hearing on the changes.
Yeah, so should we proceed with the planning commission before we come back to council then, David?
Probably.
All right, then that sounds good. Anything
Now
else on this?
I can
Thank you very
still
much.
send, I can give you a verbal that I will probably recommend that the Lionsdale Bissell property be zoned
Lindell?
heavy industrial. Is there any other properties that the council wishes to see be heavy industrial? That way I can just do the map and send it to the individual, send it to the planning commission, and then council will have somewhat of a idea. I can email you all a map still tomorrow, but if you give me direction of what you want to see zone heavy industrial, you may not have to. You can say just send a map with this to the planning commission, and it might speed things up.
Well,
Okay, that sounds good.
Doug, if I could
Amy,
add this.
go ahead. Go ahead, Tony.
Thank you, Doug.
Tony, did you have a comment?
Yes, can you hear me?
You're breaking up a little bit.
I'll try again. Can you hear?
Are you talking to me, Sean? This is Doug. Oh.
Okay, how's that? Okay, so my recommendation would be that we don't have any heavy industrial near that area of the river. And especially since we've been working with Lake County Port Authority to develop that, I would hate to blow a development plan in that corridor because we made something heavy industrial. I would rather have Lyondell Bissell be a non-compliance use there because they're grandfathered. But going forward, I would not want to, let's say if we were talking about building a hotel at one time. The last thing I'd want to see us do is finally execute on a plan to improve that waterfront area there, and then we put a smokestack next to it. So let's take a look at our zoning as opposed to what our most recent view on planning and development would be. And maybe I would suggest, rather than just having a planning commission hearing, that we have some sort of joint session meeting to discuss what our future plans are if we're going to talk about heavy industrial in those areas, because I don't think that would be as appropriate there anymore as it might have been in the past. Was that clear to everybody? Could you guys hear that?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
perfect.
I'm not sure of the legalities of having a joint meeting, but it would make sense to me to incorporate that idea into the next planning commission meeting that we're going to have. I'm not against your idea there.
We could always have work sessions.
Well,
Absolutely.
the point of creating the heavy industrial was for the Lyondell Bissell property. If you don't see a need for it being heavy industrial and wish to continue it to be a legal non-conforming, then there's no point of having a heavy industrial, and we could just eliminate that as a district and just continue on as is.
That would be my recommendation.
I would agree, Frank.
So Amy, how does that look
Hi, everybody.
schedule-wise? For the
This
next
is Vern. I would agree with Tony and Frank.
Okay. Are you, the next planning commission meeting, Doug, is scheduled for November 10th.
Okay, so
Well,
we should
if
be able
there's,
to incorporate that.
if you're not going to have a heavy industrial district, there's no need to designate any areas on the map for heavy industrial. There's no need to send it back to planning commission. We can,
Okay.
we can eliminate
agree.
the heavy industrial district off the chart at this point from per council's request. Now, if you want to send it all back to the planning commission without the heavy industrial, I mean, get their approval, that's up to you, but I don't see it being a necessity. But I can eliminate it, and then at the at the November meeting, you can look at it again with the map showing where all these uses will be per what Mr. Bertone asked for, and then you can set a public hearing for December.
Perfect.
Yeah.
David, my only question is that going to turn any business into a non-conforming use that we currently have?
Well, I have to look to see how everything turns out when I put it all on a map, and then I can be able to answer that question.
Okay, that sounds great with me. Any other comments on that issue?
Nope.
I would suggest if we're not gonna do a public hearing request until November, we may be not having enough time because it might just be 4 weeks until the next meeting and it's gotta be a 30-day notice. So you might wanna set the public hearing tonight. You have 5 people. You probably could have done it with 4. So you can then take a look at what Dave has drafted at the November meeting and put it into an ordinance form at that time. And but that way you can notify the public that there's going to be a public hearing on text amendments to the zoning code. So.
Amy, we can do that for the next council meeting in November.
Okay.
Well, I think what Jim is saying is let's set the 30-day meeting now, and if we don't have time for the 30 days between now and November, we need to check that real quick. Then we need to set it for December's meeting right now. I think that's what Jim's getting.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have the public, based on what JoJo was saying, AKA Dave Radishy. I thought he was saying we'd have the public meeting in December, and we might as well just set it now. So
Right.
That way we know we have the 30-day notice so that Amy can put it in the paper, you know, to meet that 30-day deadline. So based on the calendar.
So Amy, what day is our December meeting?
17th.
Okay. So the December meeting would be December 15th.
Okay, so I will make a motion that we hold a public hearing at 6 p.m. on December 15th for the purposes of discussing the zoning changes.
Okay.
We have a second?
Cersei, second.
Okay.
Bertone,
Aye.
Cersei,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
So then, Dave, are you
Harrison.
gonna put this into an ordinance form?
Aye.
Excuse me.
Aye.
Into
Go
an
ahead,
ordinance
Mr. Lance.
form.
Aye. We're taking a vote.
Morton.
Aye.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. Mr. Lyons, did you have more?
Yes. Dave, are you going to put this into an ordinance format, or do you want me to do it?
Yes,
or-
I will put this into an ordinance format and get it to Amy as soon as possible, along with the map.
Okay. Maybe you should send it to me too, just
Okay,
so I can.
I could do that.
Okay, are we done with that? Looks like it, by the way, Amy's smiling. From the village solicitor, James Lyons.
No report tonight, Mr. Pro
Thank
Tem.
you. From the village administrator, Amy Cossack.
All right. For the report this evening, The Lake County Port Authority is preparing a grant application on our behalf to submit to NOACA in an effort to receive TLCI planning funds for a waterfront connectivity study. This study will have two main components: planning for traffic to the storefront and waterfront districts of Fairport Harbor, and improving the connectivity between the two areas for residents and visitors. Basically, establishing a traffic analysis of existing patterns is important information to gather as we anticipate the impact of new development will have on the waterfront. Right now, we're in the process of putting together the fall/winter newsletter, which will provide residents with village updates. We're hoping to have the issue out before Halloween. Leaf pickup is provided by the Fairport Harbor Service Department. The service started on October 15th and will run through December 1st. Additional information on which streets will be picked up and when is listed on the village website. You can also contact Village Hall and it will be included in the newsletter. Meetings, I participated in meetings with the Lake County Port Authority regarding the TLCI planning grant and with PRP Group to receive updates on the Diamond Shamrock property. In addition, we had a planning commission meeting to discuss industrial zoning uses, which we just discussed. And we have a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting coming up tomorrow, actually, to discuss a deck variance. As far as media goes, the News Herald has been busy writing articles on Fairport Harbor in September. There was an article on September 17th regarding the 7th anniversary of the Historical Society. Another front page article on September 20 regarding one of our local businesses, the wine. On September 22nd, there was an article that ran on the Blakesley Bridge dedication. And finally, on September 23rd, an article ran on our levees. And that is my report.
Any questions for Mrs. Cossack? Okay.
Oh, and Doug, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know if we did this earlier with the mayor, but did he give his request to use the gazebo for the Halloween costume contest earlier? Because that's listed under.
Yes, we do have to do that. Police department requested exactly what Amy said for October 31st, 2020, request to use the park gazebo. Do we have a motion for that?
So moved, Bertone.
Second, Horton.
Bertone. Horton.
Aye.
Saracey.
Aye.
Harrison.
Aye.
Bates.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Amy. I kind of got caught in the middle of running this meeting there. I missed it.
That's no problem.
Doug, this is Frank. I
Yes.
do want to say on the costume test or costume and everything that we're going to be doing, that we do everything revolving around the COVID with masks and distancing and everything. I really believe in this COVID, and I think we should take every precaution to make sure our residents are safe.
Thank you, Frank, and I totally agree with that. Is Mr. Clyde Haddon with us?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Haddon,
Thank you.
go ahead with your report, sir, if you have one.
I do. A couple projects. East Street is substantially complete. As we all know, additional pavement repairs are pending. We have agreed on a price, and we're just waiting for a schedule. Hopefully, we've implored them to get that done next week. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. The water plant work is ongoing. The design for that, EPA had sent some comments to the village. We responded to those, and we're waiting for them to give us the okay to advertise that project, which should be getting underway in mid-January. And that's about it.
Doug, this is Tony. Just want to add something there. So with respect to the additional pavement repairs, we must, and I'm going to emphasize this, we must absolutely, positively, without any doubt, execute on those pavement repairs. We promised people for a long time that those things were going to get done, and I'm disappointed that the contractor could not agree to a price. This was out to bid a long time ago. They got substantial amount of work with the East Street project. We've promised many residents who have paid this additional levy last time around for roadway improvements. Expect these things to be done. When we were having live council meetings, we were having a number of residents show up about these projects. And just because we're not having live meetings should not mean that we do not execute on these. So I don't know, Clyde, what we need to do, but those absolutely have to be done next week. Absolutely, positively. Done.
Tony, I agree with you 100%. We're pushing them as hard as we can. So.
Okay, this cannot go into next year. It has to get done.
Agree.
Thank you.
Hey, Doug, I think you're still on mute.
Chris, oh, sorry, Chris Paquette, go ahead.
I have provided you with the financial summary. We've done about 98% of reallocating funds for the COVID CARES Act funds we received, but not the 110,000 yet that we just got the other day. The Northwestern Bank is closing its doors in Paynesville, Madison, in general in the Northeast Ohio. So we have gone out and found another bank at probably a little better service charge. They're not charging us anything. It's First Federal Lakewood. It's in Concord is the closest branch. But we'll be using a check machine here to do our deposits. So we'll be doing deposits. So less travel to the bank in point of fact. With regard to the van, do we want to set a reserve price on it since we didn't meet the 4,000 last time? Or do we want to just accept best offer?
So this is Tony. We didn't get that number the last time, and I'm not sure what the value of that is, but we continue to insure it. It's a liability at this point. So my recommendation would be let's get that thing moved out of here. Take the bids in, and I think the administrator can make a decision based on there. I think we as council should give the authority to do that. I also would suggest that any other car that the administrator does not feel that we are using, whether that's dead police vehicles, dead service vehicles, whatever is not a value to this village needs to be moved out of here. So let's get all those declared surplus and let's get those moved out of here as well. We don't need to be garbage collectors.
Okay, that's my report.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Any other questions for Chris?
I would agree with Mr. Bertone. I think we still have a couple of vehicles down at the service department that are not being used. We need to clean house down there. I know there's at least one junk vehicle down there that needs to go.
Yeah, and I wouldn't leave that up to anybody else except the administrator's decision. Amy, you know what you need there, and it sounds like you have backing from council here to make that happen. So do what you need to do.
Okay.
So we can reword that and come back to it the next meeting or sometime. As far as that ordinance.
Yeah, or make it. Yeah, we can probably amend that, Doug, and then have another one for the other vehicles.
Okay, when we get to that one, then we can do that. Any other questions for Chris?
Hey, Chris, this is Tony. Can you take a look, see if there's any monies available out there to put up a metal building to replace that service garage down there? Many of our vehicles, we spend all this money on vehicles and then they sit outside and they rust away. Time that we looked at covering those and maybe I know in Vern's business with construction, maybe you can help track that down a little bit, but I think we need to do something down there. I don't know what the rest of council feels, but something we should address.
I'll make it a priority to find some, to identify some funds.
Can I interrupt on this reserve? I'm not sure what standards you're giving Amy. I mean, if it comes in at $250, are you saying she can reject it or she should accept it? Or, I mean, to me, the reason for the line item of a reserve is, you know, to give her a standard that she can base it on. You can give it, you could make it $500 if you want to move the thing out. But I mean, do you want to give it away for $300? Because you could get, you know, somebody coming in at the reserve amount. So, or do you want to just say that the council, I mean, that the administrator has the right to reject any and all bids, but then what standards is she using to do that?
Well, we've given Amy the key to the village, so I think we trust her. So I would say that whatever mechanism allows her to make a decision to move that vehicle. The vehicle is not in good shape. It's unsafe. And all it's doing is collecting rust where it's located. It could leak oil, it could leak gas, and then we have other issues, right? So why are we holding it? So if Amy, if you feel that that number is X, then execute would be my opinion.
Jim, can we say best qualified bid?
No, I would say that we advertise it and we pass this ordinance, or with the language that that the administrator has the right to reject any and all bids. So then it'll be ultimately up to her, period.
Okay.
So,
I'm okay with that.
Perfect.
Okay.
You want to make a motion, or I can make a motion that we amend it to reflect Jim's perfectly worded ordinance.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that motion, Tony.
Thanks, Eric.
Okay.
We're just waiting for you, Chris.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my head in the game on how I'm going to word this. So you're going to, Mr. Bertone has made a motion to amend ordinance 2020-61 to include language that allows the administrator to take the best offer, if I'm not mistaken.
She could reject it too.
Yeah, exactly.
To accept or reject any and all bids.
Right, period.
Perfect.
To reject all bids. Bertone.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Harrison.
Aye.
Heights. Cersei.
Aye.
Okay, the amendment is adopted.
I'll make a motion to approve as amended.
I'll second that, Horton.
Did we suspend already?
I was just going to do that. I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second, Horton.
On the motion to suspend, Bertone.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Heights. Cersei.
Aye.
Harrison.
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Bertone.
Aye.
Horton.
Aye.
Heights.
Aye.
Cersei.
Aye.
Harrison.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess we're up to, anything else from, any other questions for Chris? Okay, we're to old business, committee reports. Safety Committee, is that Mr. Saracy?
Yes, I talked
Go
to
ahead.
Chief Leonard today, and his reports reflect how they're doing, and I complimented him on our officers and also our firemen. They're all doing a good job, but everything's running smoothly.
Thank you,
It's all
Frank.
in the report.
Any other comments or questions on that? Thank you. Okay, now we're back to legislation. I believe we already passed pay the bills resolution, and we took care of number 2, ordinance 2020-61, which leaves us number 3, 4, and 5. Mr. Lyons, what we've already tabled, or not tabled, but put these on first reading. So what do we need to do to be able to vote on these?
I would say somebody makes a motion to suspend the rules, and then you pass it normally, if that's what you want to do, so.
Okay, then we'll go through these 3 on ordinance 2020-62, amending appropriations to recognize additional CARES Act monies. Do we have a
Move to
motion?
adopt, Horton.
Second, Cersei.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second, Cersei.
On the motion to suspend,
Aye.
Saracy,
Aye.
Heights,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Horton,
Aye.
Saracy,
Aye.
Heights,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution 2020-63, authorizing the county auditor to advance taxes for 2021.
Motion to adopt.
Second, Horton.
Motion to suspend the rules, Bertone.
Second, Horton.
On the motion to suspend, Bertone,
Aye.
Horton,
Aye.
Saracy,
Aye.
Heights,
Aye.
Harrison.
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Bertone,
Aye.
Horton,
Aye.
Saracy,
Aye.
Heights,
Aye.
Harrison.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution 2020-64, authorizing the mayor and administrator to apply for a TLCI grant through NOACA.
Motion to adopt, Cersei.
Second, Horton.
Motion to suspend, Cersei.
Second, Horton.
On the motion to suspend, Saracy,
Aye.
Horton,
Aye.
Heights,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Bertone.
Aye.
On the motion to adopt, Saracy,
Aye.
Horton,
Aye.
Heights,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Bertone.
Thank you.
Aye.
Whoops. Sorry.
All good.
Thank
Thank you. If I knew I had to run this meeting, I probably would have been stressed out all day, but it's good that it came at the last minute. So, on to miscellaneous. Anything from council? Okay, my only comment. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. The planning commission also approved 2 lot splits. They adjusted some land from a piece of property at Jerry Osborne and added it to another piece of property owned by Osborne Concrete and Stone, and then he did a lot split to split the marina out, and then he's retaining some land to the north. Just wanted, and the deeds were submitted to the village, and they were signed off on, so they'll be of record soon. I did hear from the Fairport Harbor Yacht Club. They're looking to purchase some land from Osborne Concrete and Stone, so there might be another lot split in our future, and plus a rezoning, so to be able to use the land for Fairport Harbor Yacht Club.
Thank you, Mr. Radishi. I just have one comment under miscellaneous for Amy regarding the BZA meeting tomorrow night. Do we have staff recommendations from Mr. Radishi or some strong guidance for the members?
Yes. Dave will be attending the meeting with us, and he has provided a staff report to the group that we've already provided them.
That is beautiful. Thank you. Anything else from anybody? Do we have any correspondence from the public? Chris?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I believe that is it. Motion to adjourn?
So moved. Horton.
Second, Saracen.
Adjourning, Horton,
Aye.
Saracen,
Aye.
Heights,
Aye.
Harrison,
Aye.
Bertone. Adjourned at 1913, Mr. Harrison.
I'm sorry?
We're adjourned at 1913. 7:15.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for putting up with me, everybody.
You did good,
Thanks.
Doug.
Yeah,
Good job.
always glad to see your
Thank you.
smiling face, Amy.
Go ahead, Jerry. Talk about me.
Frank, you never look so good, man.
Thank you, sir.
He does look good.
Jerry, it's getting a little.
You all
long.
have a beautiful, stay safe.
It is. It's getting there.
Thanks, Frank.
I
You
feel
too.
like I'm right through my
God
monitor.
bless. Bye.
Thank you, Sean.
Everybody.
See you, everybody.
Good night, you guys.